Learning and Development interview with Xeniah Asia at JPS Africa Podcast Studio and at Brooklyn, Pretoria. We're diving into one of the most exciting shifts happening in our organization, the alignment of learning and development with human resources. To help unpack what this means for our people and our future, I'm joined by Learning and Development consultant Xeniah Asia. Xeniah, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
So, first question. What is learning and development and the value thereof?
Okay, learning and development, also known as L&D, is a function within HR. It is a systematic process which enables the individual to upskill as well as to increase their capabilities, their knowledge and their behavior through a process of continuous learning. We aim to close the gaps. We also encourage engagement, and we like to foster career growth that essentially drives organizational growth as well at the end of the day. If we have an engaged and productive staff complement, we have an increase in our human as well as our financial capitals, and thus will increase the sustainability of the company as well. So learning and development is very important.
How does aligning learning and development and human resources directly support the company's business strategy?
Okay, so HR is your biggest asset. Our people, as such, are our biggest asset, and HR is also very expensive. So that is why we need to invest in our people so that we can have continuity of programs as well as longevity of our staff. I'll make an example. Our MMC program is going in for its 15th year with various funding mechanisms such as USAID, CDC, and National Treasury. Learning and development is very, very important, will always be very important, as JPSA is a learning organization and will always facilitate efficiency of staff.
Can you demonstrate the return on investment of aligning the two functions?
Sure. You need to establish a future-ready workforce as well as the sustainability of the company. We also need to ensure longevity of staff. So, for example, longevity of staff as well as continuity of programs. We have the MMC program, which has been running for 15 years with various funding mechanisms such as USAID, CDC, as well as National Treasury. JPSA is a learning organization and so will always facilitate efficiency of personnel.
How will shared human resources and learning and development affect succession planning accuracy?
Well, they will definitely enhance it as the two functions or processes support each other. It is indicative of a leading and a lagging indicator, and this is synonymous of the feedback loop. We also focus on the gap analysis, because once we feed the gap analysis or the results that we have attained from the gap analysis to HR will essentially improve everything where there are lags.
Does the leadership pipeline model replace or enhance current career development practices?
Oh, it will definitely enhance it. It will never replace it, as we have probably 7 to 8 models that we can use for succession planning and for career pathing. However, the leadership pipeline model is specifically used in this regard when it comes to upskilling and identifying potential for leadership or for possible leadership in the future. Your leadership pipeline model is basically a framework that identifies the critical stages of the transition of certain individuals whilst they undergo sort of a leadership transition within the organization. So what the leadership pipeline model essentially, what its purpose essentially is that it's a mastering of yourself in order to master others.
What happens if employees meet learning and development requirements but still fall short during HR evaluation?
Okay, so in this instance, we apply the learning loop to also prevent any risk exposure within the organization. A gap analysis is also done. A gap analysis is always done so that we can basically find the root cause and address it thereafter. Within JPSA especially, we have multiple coaches so that we can also prevent this overlap.
If organizations could only take one step tomorrow to align learning and development in human resources, what would it be?
I would say creating one shared measurable business outcome that both L&D as well as HR can be jointly responsible for. Not something as, let's call it trivial as improving performance, but one shared KPI that both teams can succeed and not separately.
There you have it. JPS Africa's human resources function charts the course for talent, recruitment, managing performance and succession planning amongst others, while the learning and development function develops skills and capabilities. Thank you, Xeniah.
Thank you very much.